Hi everyone. In this weekly update, I wanted to talk about a couple things, and I actually took a little bit of notes on my little post-it note about some of the things I wanted to cover. On my heavy day that I did on, I believe it was Monday, my squats felt really, really good, and I tried a couple things with my form, or with my mechanics, I guess. I moved my stance in a little bit to make it similar to my deadlift stance, because the logic behind that is if I can deadlift a lot of weight, then that's probably a pretty optimal point for me to be from squatting from as well. And it was very true. I was able to squat lower comfortably and come out of the hole very, very quickly, which the weights that I was using before felt heavy, a lot heavier than they had previously. But on that day, they felt really, really light. If that makes, yeah, I think that should make sense. It felt good that day doing that form. And another thing that I did besides moving my stance in was to look down, and that wasn't. I suppose it might have had some benefit with balance and whatnot, but the big reason I did that was so I could focus on the bar, my bar path of having it kind of the optimal point at the bottom, and then on the way up of just having it move up and down in a perfect line as much as I possibly could, because I noticed that as I grind out weights I kind of lean back, and then it looks kind of like I'm going to flip the weight off my back, and that probably makes it a lot harder for me to lift because it's in a more upright position. So I need to kind of keep that low bar position as much as I can until obviously I'm past the sticking point. Then I can kind of do whatever, because I don't have an issue past the sticking point. It's really obviously the sticking point that is the issue, hence it being called the sticking point. But that lift went really well, and heavy singles went well on that day. Deadlifts were kind of weird on that Monday because I failed a 555 the first day and then got it the second time. I don't know, it was just weird, but the second one felt like it moved really, really well, and it was the fastest I've ever felt. 555 felt, or 555 move on any day, and then benching went well. I was able to do 275 for a single, which I was going to do like 90% of my one rep max, which is how I got the like 405 about in the 555, but for bench. I don't know why, but I can pretty much work at like 99% of my one rep max pretty consistently without too much issues. Obviously, before I had a little bit of tendonitis, but I haven't really been experiencing that at all now, so it hasn't really been an issue. But I'm pretty able to handle those kind of weights and then recover really quickly. So, but if I was like trying to do like 575 or something really high for deadlift, that would have been really, really rough. And same with squats. If I was trying to do really close to my one rep max, my current one rep max, then it would be very, very rough. So I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because they're smaller muscles and they're able to just recover quicker or something like that. But I also had the other big lift that I had on Friday, went kind of weird. Is weird. I don't know why. I didn't do a heavy single for anything in my squats. I did with 375 pounds, and I had one rep on the first set, two on the second one, and three on the third, which I don't know how that happened, but the weight, I guess, started to feel better, or I started to groove as I started to go, and then I did an AMRAP of like 345 just so I get a little extra volume. But then my other sets for everything else went really well. The next week I'm probably going to do another day of the same kind of thing, where a heavy single on Monday with followed by some working sets of heavier weights, and then just a day of working with heavier weights on either probably Thursday or Friday. It'll probably end up being Friday, give myself a little bit of extra rest. But kind of with those days of rest, what I did this week, I had 2 extra days because normally I lift 6 days a week, and there's like 4 that are kind of programmed, and then 2 that are just extra days where they're more optional days. So sometimes I'll do stuff, and sometimes I'll just go and do cardio, or sometimes I'll just go and like do abs and hang out, or go shoot baskets or something, or sometimes I'll do extra lifts or whatever. Those are more variable. But now I cut those days out, and I still had 4 days of lifting, but the other 2 days where I went in and did like one set of high reps with like 135 pounds with squat and bench, and then like 225 for deadlifts on the 2 separate days. So I'll be cutting those sessions out next week and just having the 2 heavy days where I lift and then lots of cardio to try to continue to lose weight. And kind of talking about losing weight, I'm currently like 187 to 188 in the morning, thereabout, depending on how much water and if I go to the bathroom in the morning prior to weighing myself. But I'm hoping to get down to 185, 184, so that when I have to cut down water a day before, it will be more manageable instead of having to cut down 6 or 7 pounds, because I'd rather not do that because I just don't feel like that would be quite as optimal. But as far as my diet has been going, I've been trying to keep my protein over 200 grams a day, and I've been successful at that on most days. Actually, I think every day since I've been focusing on it. And my carbs, I've been trying to limit those as much as I can. I'm still quite below what it's recommended that I have, so I'm not too concerned about having a lot of carbs. But on a day like today, on Sunday, when I'm not going to do anything, I'm trying to limit my carbs as much as possible, because a big thing that carbs are going to do is give me energy to work out. If I'm not working out, then I can really try to kind of I guess for lack of a better term, starve myself, but I'm still eating like lots of protein and stuff, so I'm not hungry or anything. I'm just not having carbs. So hopefully limiting those will continue to aid in my weight loss, and thankfully I've been feeling pretty fine despite not having a lot of carbs like I normally do. So I think that's just a function of me getting enough fiber and vitamins and lots of protein. Ooh, that's a weird noise, but uh, I think I'm going to continue to do the diet that I'm doing now because I'm happy with how I'm feeling and how um, my lifts are going and how I'm starting to slowly lose weight. I'm getting to the point now where I don't really have much fat or anything to lose, so it's kind of getting more difficult to lose weight. The 195 to like 190 was very easy, but I have a good feeling that the 190 to 185 is going to take much longer or going to be much more difficult to get to. And yeah, that's about it that I have to talk today. I talked about my squat form, which feels um, uber good now because I made a couple of adjustments to them. I'm going to do more heavy singles the week before the meet. I'm going to just do mechanical work and with lighter weight. I haven't decided like loads or anything like that, but I'll probably have 2 sessions where I just go and focus on just sets of singles, probably like 4 sets of one or something random. I haven't planned any of that out yet, just kind of in my head generally. So I'll have those days, and then I'll have the meet. So hopefully the meet goes well. I don't envision any issues with it hitting my first 2 attempts. What I will probably have issues with is hitting my third attempts because those are more reaches for everything. But as long as I hit my first attempts, I'm completely good. And then as long as I hit a couple or all of my second attempts, then I'll be really good. So hopefully this continues to go well, and hopefully the pounds will come off a little bit quicker, so I don't have to worry about being any more aggressive with the cardio. And yeah, that's about it. So if you have any thoughts or comments about what I've talked about or any of my programming or anything really, please leave them down below. I'll try to respond if it's relevant. Yeah, and that's about it. So as always, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.